As usual, May didn't go at all to plan, but the way I wanted it to go has me entering June ready to go, especially with how much fun I had. Console games were my stars of May, with 2 of them reminding me of all the silliness and cinematics I love in these worlds, and while I didn't make huge progress in anything, getting near the end of some things has me excited to possibly end June with more definitive things to talk about. But since May is done, it's time to talk about it before getting into this month, so here are the JRPGs I played in May. While I was planning as usual in May to keep up with all my staples, there was one day when my PS5 told me I was over 50% done with Granblue Fantasy Relink, so knowing it was fairly short with the potential to even smash out the rest of it in a day, I put most of the time I had into it, which resulted in some wonderful play sessions that reminded me of all the great parts I love in JRPGs. I don't want to spoil too much, but the later chapters of Relink get really intense, bringing its best parts to the forefront, with boss battles becoming more interesting with new challenges, the characters you can get to do them with increasing, and the way they tie into the story keeping everything exciting, especially as things feel do or die going on. I didn't end up finishing as I had less playtime than I expected after I went back to work and put a lot of my holiday free time into making an extra video, but the time I did have was so dynamic and cool that it made me feel like sticking with it has been the right choice, and I'm excited to put those final hours into it as I find myself with a few more free hours from this month at least. I think last month I said this, but with actual extra time this month due to some changes in my life outside of YouTube, I'm hoping you guys can look forward to seeing a review this month, and I'm looking forward to getting back to it as I know its final moments will be well worth the wait. Neptunia Game Maker R was something I knew I'd likely play around launch, and considering my pile of staples, I'd expected to just jump in and out of to take a look. What I didn't expect was to like it immediately and want to add it to the pile, and while I refrained as my pile is looking a bit too piley right now, I did play it a little extra to enjoy more of its dialogue and funny banter in its unique world. Because of that, I made a full first impressions video on it that I'll be sure to link and not repeat too much from, but the main thing I loved about it was that it reminded me of the silly side I love from JRPGs. Granblue is a better example of the great cinematic things JRPGs do now, but what made me fall in love with the genre was the quirky dialogue from things like Persona 4 Golden, and the fact I couldn't find that offbeat humor anywhere else. Neptunia is definitely a good example of that for me, so aside from learning about its game company simulation cross-dungeon crawling mechanics, it made me laugh and love its characters instantly, and is a title from this year I hope to get more time with as it's overall very easy to enjoy. Since my video, I'd be curious to see if any of you guys checked it out to hear what you think, and going forward, I'll definitely be trying to give the Neptunia series more time when its many titles release, so I hope the series continues to bring the fun, hopefully in more good quality ways, as I can see how their fun titles add something good to the pool of JRPGs every year. The previous 2 games I talked about were ones I put real time into during May, with that time probably amounting to less than a total of 10 hours with each. That is not at all what I'd hoped for in a month I had vacation time in. I had planned to spend a lot of my time playing, but ended up making a video instead that ate the majority of that time. However, my work schedule has changed since, so I'm hoping that from June onwards I can be a little better at starting and finishing things. In May, I did make sure to dip my toe into everything though, just to keep plots and objectives fresh in mind, with this being the main extent of my time with Trails to Azure and my Final Fantasy VII related endeavors with Rebirth and InterMISSION, with the latter somehow having the longer missions and with some interesting exploration thrown in, making it one of the most fun I had out of those. What I did manage to get multiple hours into in May was Atelier Resleriana, as if you know me, that's just the kind of person I am. I finished all the events on both servers, including the finally well-timed Mother's Day one and the smaller combat-based ones on JP. I also made the realization that the fact I'm halfway through the main story on these probably means I should try get up to date with that too, as it could free up more of my staple times, along with also meaning I just get to see it, so that might be something I try to do in June too. I should probably mention I do still plan to finish Final Fantasy VII Rebirth at this point, but it's a little on the back burner since I think it's smarter to finish some of the shorter experiences I have, so I'll be doing that, and hopefully I'll see my Rebirth time flourish in the near future. For now, I have a lot of ideas and things I want to play, so we'll see that happen as June gets underway. I don't know about anyone else, but my JRPG calendar for June is pretty empty, or at least it was until I realized Shin Megami Tensei 5 Vengeance is officially released this month, so I do hope to play that in some capacity. Before that, the only thing I had on it was Resleriana's Eska chocolate event that I just finished, and the Winter Arlen one that just started that I guess I'll have to write the date down for. Other than that, I have no games I plan to purchase that may just give me the guilt-free focus time on my staples I've been looking for. In terms of that, as I said here, finishing Granblue Relink will be my first priority as the short king I'm nearly done with. Since I want to make a video on it, that could take some time, so I don't know if I'll get to finishing Resleriana's main story like I hope to, but it would be nice to have a few less things on my shoulders for now, and this could be a good way to do it. If I can get through more things, I hope it can be good news for getting to other things on the horizon, and with games like Persona 3 Reload and Neptunia Game Maker still on my mind, I'm hoping the extra time in my schedule can be more time for games or content or both going forward, as there's definitely plenty I still want to do in the second half of the year. I hope you guys are just as full as motivation as the month gets moving, and as usual, playing things you enjoy or that give you joy too. As for me, it's time to get back to playing, as there's no shortage of things to do, as another fun JRPG month promises its share of time to play things in. Thank you for watching this video. Let me know in the comments below what you played in May and what you plan to play this month. You can like and share this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel for more JRPG content like this, and ring that bell to get notifications on whenever I post so you don't miss a thing. You can check out more videos here, and you can find me on social media on X, Facebook, and Instagram, all at JRPG Jungle. Links to those will be in the description below, and until next time, thank you, bye!